Hello everyone, this is Daniel right here and welcome to Devlog number 23 for our indie RPG Kingsblood. Within this episode I want to show you some new gameplay aspects, but I would really like to focus a little bit more on the game design aspect, especially in regards to the concept of souls. Now, the concept of souls is deeply integrated into our storytelling, and we even set up a little mythological background around the concept of souls. At the moment, where you as a player will find information about this concept and about the mythology will be the taverns. And you press on the tavern, you will find these rumors where the folks are gossiping. And if you find the right person, he might tell you a little bit about the souls and the mythology. So in general, you can read it right here, but I can sum it up for you. So there was a founding giant. He was two-headed. His name was Fangir, and he was super powerful. As he died, his body decomposed, so to say, and out of his body, the world was created. Now, of course, this is a bit in relation to Nordic mythology. But so out of his two heads, two new gods arose or awoke, and these gods were not powerful enough to capture all of his energy. So one of the gods decided, well, I create humans and throw them into the world, and I can store additional energy in their souls. So souls are very powerful. Now the humans started to pray to this god, and the other god got jealous, and because of that he created the demons, and the demons then they could not have a soul, so what they tried, because they also wanted part of this ancient energy, so they started to harvest souls from humans. Well, that's basically the background story. Now for the inhabitants in Arthania, the super ancient mythology does not play a big role, because for them there was a time when demons and humans were in conflict. I don't want to tell too much about it, but there was someone who freed the humans of this tyranny, and so right now this world is pretty much in peace and free of demons. And this person who did that, he basically is kind of a god for the humans. So the humans don't pray to these ancient gods, but they basically pray to this guy who freed them of like the tyranny. And that is not too far back in the past. It's like 300 years ago. And within like our tavern system, you will find a lot of information. Some is true, some is not true, some stuff are just rumors about what happened back in the time, and or what is written in the ruins and stuff like that. One thing which is true is that it is very hard to. There is a mechanism within the world where you can block out demons. So demons have not, for a long time, they have not been seen within this world. There's one big mechanic in the game, and there's a reason for that. Don't want to tell more about that. So, all right, but now let's switch away from mythology and storytelling towards actual gameplay features, which we plan and in parts at least already implemented. And for that, let's go to our base and select the Fellowship tab. And within the Fellowship tab, you can already see a lot of our characters which we implemented. Some of them are also implemented, but placeholders. And while we're not very proud about this UI, we're kind of happy already about the character UI you see right here. Right, so this is what I was talking about last week. And if you remember, every character has 3 traits. So the first trait is his profession. For instance, Moch right here, he's a summoner, or Sul right here, he's a shapeshifter. And all these icons will also change, right? And they are orcs both, right? This will never change, but they also have a third trait, and this third trait is their soul color. And this third trait will be given randomly, because our game functions as the following. if you have researched everything, you will have up to 9 characters in a battle group, and the more orcs you will have, the more powerful they will get, right? They will buff each other. The more shapeshifters you have, the more powerful they will get. Now the problem is you won't have 9 orc shapeshifters, so you somehow have to combine the classes, the different heroes, to get the most out of it, to get really good synergy bonuses. That's how we call them. And the same will happen with the soul color, but the soul color will be given randomly. So every time you want to replay the game, or even if you only play it once, you won't be able to go to the internet and find a perfect group composition, because this stat right here will be a complete random feature, and what works maybe in another game won't of another player won't work for you in your playthrough. So you have to activate your brain a little bit to get the best group compositions. And yeah, that's how it works. And also I have to say this is not a complete randomization, because that could result in some really unfair advantages for players who get a bit lucky. For instance, if you just by chance get your 50 characters and everyone gets a fire soul, then you would always have a group with full synergies. That would be a little bit unfair. So what we do is we have at the start of the game, you will have a pot of souls, 50 souls, and then you will have from every color like 8 souls. And then what these characters do is they draw out of this pot. So that's basically like in statistics, if you know this concept, drawing without giving it back. And so you have a randomization, but it is like still an equal distribution of soul colors. Now, these soul colors will have some impact in combat. But let's talk about it later. First of all, let's talk about this button right here. At the moment, there is nothing right here. But what this button, this soul color button, will be later on, it will be the leveling system. And the leveling system, I can show you a little screenshot right here, will work like the following. So the icon, this icon you see right here, we are currently talking to an artist. They will be available also in higher resolution. And these higher resolution images will be here, right? And then when you level up, there will be a graph sitting on top of this image, and then you can just click here if you have a level up and give your character some bonus stats. So it is a little bit, if you know Path of Exile, or if you know the old Final Fantasy games, it is like a typical leveling system where you can just distribute your leveling points on this graph. Now, we don't want to have this effect like if you're a warrior, you want to have fire, and if you don't get the fire soul, you can basically restart your game. So we will try to make all trees kinda equally strong. So you will get, um, for instance, crit chance. You will have the ability to get crit chance in every tree. But there will be some features you can only get if you have that specific soul color. And these are just some ideas. For instance, if you have an earth soul color, you will have the chance to get block chance and a stun chance. Or if you have a water soul, you will get focus regeneration. If you have a storm soul, you have the chance to make splash damage, AoE damage if you hit an enemy, and so on. And this will not be automatically given, but you have to unlock it within this tree. And then you can maybe unlock it multiple times. So this is currently our idea. All the souls should be kind of equally strong in terms of leveling, so you will get similar attribute bonuses. Maybe in the water tree you will get a little bit more stuff related to generating focus, and in the life tree you will get a little bit more attributes in terms of giving life or defenses, right? But they should be kind of equal, but there will be some specific features you will only find in the specific trees. And now I would like to show you how we want to indicate these souls within the game, but for that I have to switch scenes. Alright, and here we are. Here we are in one of our animation test scenes, and as you can see, what we plan on doing is, depending on the soul, we want to give the characters auras. We are not sure, most probably some of these auras will change, some of them are already cool. So this, for instance, is the Earth aura, this one here is Life, this one here is Storm, Water, Fire, and Light. How we want to display these souls, we're not sure. Maybe we only will display them at the start of the combat. Maybe we will make a system where they are not visible and they just flare up for a couple of seconds, like every 10 seconds, or we will just show them all the time. One more idea would be that depending on the level of synergies, usually you will get synergy bonuses, for instance, if you have 2 fire guys, 4 fire guys, or 6 fire guys. So just as an example, there will be 3 levels of synergy bonuses, and then maybe we will increase the effects around the characters depending on the level they have. So this is just some visuals. We are already kind of happy, but of course everything can be improved. Alright, and then let me show you this right here, because there will be some combat effects attached to our soul color system. And this is in difference to the other 2 traits, race and profession, because the soul color will have direct impact into combat. And it will be a little bit like stone, scissors, paper, tic-tac-toe. I don't know how it is called in English. It is like a little bit of a system of a hard counter, which we have a little bit in our game, but with that system we wanted to improve it. Or it is a little bit like Pokemon, you know, if you have a Pikachu with electricity, he will be strong versus water, I guess. I don't know Pokemon that well, but we will have this elemental wheel right here. For instance, water will improve storm, storm will improve fire. So this means if you have, for instance, 3 people with a fire synergy, and then you also have 3 people with a storm synergy, the storm people will give a slight improvement to the fire people. And then if you have a fire guy and he attacks a water guy, um, he will, so to say, boil the water, and that means that he will be strong against enemies with a water soul, because all enemies will have souls as well. And then there will be also effects like which are negative. So we will also have like soul colors which are weak against other soul colors. And this is all expressed within this elemental wheel. I don't want to go into too much detail because I'm not sure if we have everything set in stone. Don't see this as a final image, but this is how we conceptualize it at the moment. Now, of course, the soul colors will give synergies to themselves as well. For instance, if you have 2 people who have a light soul, they will get a light shield at the start of the combat, which absorbs 50 HP. If you have 4 people, they will get a 100 HP shield, and if you have 6, they will get a 200 HP shield. All these numbers are not set in stone, but in general, light will give you a shield, life will give you HP regeneration, earth will give you a stun chance and armor, water will improve your focus regeneration, storm will create a miss chance, because there will be a fog everywhere and it's harder to hit. Now this mischance will of course be applied to the enemies. Fire will just make you more ferocious and give you attack speed. And yeah, that's it. And here at the end of the table you can always see that light supports life, is weak strong versus earth, and so on. So this is the basic concept which we plan on doing with that system, right? And yeah, so once again, this is how the souls or the soul colors will look in combat as of now. And I know this was a bit of an unusual vlog because we talked specifically about one concept. Like I said, some things are implemented, some are missing yet, but that's where we want to go with that. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. With that having said, I hope you have a nice rest of the weekend and see you soon.